Hey everyone, how y'all doing? Blue here, back with our Minecraft medieval castle tutorial. So before we get started, how are you guys all doing? I hope you guys are doing well. Now today is actually part 20 of the series so far. And for those of you that have been following along, first of all, well done for keeping up to this point, guys. I know this is a super huge build, especially for those of you that are building in survival. Now today we're going to focus on getting all of the storage system all complete. I know a lot of you have been wanting to finish that up so that you can get your items all sort of organized and stuff like that. So today we're going to get that all finished up, plus a few other bits as well. So with that being said, guys, let's dive in and get some building done. Okay guys, we've got a lot of work to get done today, so we're going to head straight into the castle. And before we go downstairs, we're going to just do a little bit of work here. So first of all, we're going to need some input chests for our storage system. And we're going to use these barrels here, 1 and 2, 3 and 4. Okay, these 4 barrels. So we can put items in any one of these barrels, and that's going to send our items down into the storage system. So what we're going to do is go 1 and 2, break those 2, 1 and 2. Then we can just put one back in front for now like this. Just for now. We'll probably end up needing to break it later on and then put it back again. But this, just for now, just break the one underneath the barrels, okay? This will just make it easier for us to find it down below. So now we've got that done, let's head down to the basement. And we should be able to go down our stairs. Now it's very important here, guys, that you do it from the same corner so you don't get confused. So when you come down the stairs here, we're going to turn towards this door. Where this door is, we're going to go to the left, over to this corner here, and this is where we're going to have the input go down to each level. Okay, as you can see, the holes in the ceiling there, that is where we're going to be coming through from the chests above. Now what we're going to do here is we're going to break this block here. Okay, so we've got 2 blocks here. Now if we drop down to the next level, again, we're going to break 1 and 2. No, 1 and 2 like that. We're going to leave that one there. Okay. Then we're going to go down again to the next level. 1. And make sure you don't fall through it at the same time. And 2. Okay. Now, I think this is the bottom level. Yep, we've got this last level now. And we're going to go down. And then this one, there we go. It's the last level. Okay. So now that we're down on the bottom level on this same corner here, we're going to turn to our right. If we face towards this pillar here in the corner, you want to turn to the right here, and we're going to go 2 blocks just here and 1 block right there, okay? This is going to be the very last chest that gets filled, okay? The one that's just behind here, okay? So just put a hopper just there for the moment. Now, the idea here is we're going to basically go all the way around, okay, run a hopper line above all these hoppers, then we're going to bring it over here, we're going to go up to the next level, and then we're going to loop around again, doing exactly the same process, okay? But before we do that, we're going to just make things a little bit easier for ourselves. So what we're going to do is in between these gaps here, so while we're walking, we can walk all the way across without falling while we're placing in the hoppers. So go ahead, put like 2 blocks in here. It can be any 2 blocks of your choice. It doesn't matter what blocks. 2 like this. Then on the corners, we can put 2 here, 2 here, and then basically join the hopper line and the hopper line here together like this. Okay. Now, the hoppers are going to come all the way down here. Then they're going to go across the wall here, around this edge here, all the way around, back here, and then continue all the way around. Okay, so this corner here again, we're going to do the same thing. Join this piece up here, just like so. Okay, in the gap round here, we'll go 2 there, 2 there, and then again on the corner here, we're going to bring 2 blocks here, bring it over, 2 blocks here, and then join it up like this. And you want to repeat that pattern on all 4 levels, all of the way around, okay? So just fill your gaps so that you don't fall down while you're placing your blocks. Now, the corner here that we start with, okay, this one here, we don't want to join these hopper lines together, okay? Because these 2 hopper lines are going to go in separate directions. So leave this one corner that you started with, and then we can go up to the next level for now, And again, we can go one here. We don't actually have to worry because we're on the next level now. Put two just here, two here, two here, two here. And again, guys, just repeat this on all of the floors. Okay, so now you can see we're back to where the stairway is. We're going to go around the back here and just continue all the way around. So just go around, repeat the same thing on all of your floors. Okay, so if you've got just one floor, do it on the one floor. If you've got 3, 4, 5, 6, however many floors you choose to do, you want to make sure you do the same thing. This will just make it easier for doing all of your hoppers and getting everything in place. Okay, now that we've got all of those planks in place, that's going to make it much easier for placing in our hopper lines. Now I think what we're going to do here to make it a little bit easier is we're going to start from our first hopper here, as you can see on this side, and we're going to run it all the way around and join it up to this last hopper here. Then we're going to stop there. We're not going to join it over to this side, okay? Because the rest of the plumbing has got to go from floor to floor on the corner here. Now we are on the lowest level here, guys, so however many levels you go down, make sure you go to your ground level first. That is where you want to start, because you want the items to come from the top floor all the way down to the bottom. So now we're going to work from the bottom all the way up to the top. Now first of all, I think the best thing to do here is first of all getting our hopper lines from one side to the other, and then do that on all floors. So we're going to start from this corner here. Okay, so if we're facing the corner pillar here, we want to go to the right side. Okay, now from this one here, we're going to go 1, 2. Now we want to make sure these are placing into each other at the back and not downwards like this. If we come down here, see this one actually faces down into this hopper. We just want a row that continues all the way around like this. So make sure that you don't accidentally face them downwards. Okay, so let's first of all follow this all the way down to the corner. Now, at the corner, we're going to place 1 here, okay, and we're going to use those planks that we put in place to come round the corner, place another one here, and then continue this all the way down to the wall behind us. Okay, so let's just place a few more here. At the corner here, we're going to place 1 there. We're also going to place 1 there, and we're going to run these all the way across to here. Place 1 more just on there. Come down here, we're going to crouch, and we're going to get 1 more on that corner there. Now for this part here, you'll probably have to use some of your scaffold or some blocks, and you just want to place a hopper in here. You're going to need to crouch to place these, and then bring them all the way across to the corner, and then come out by 1. Now come back up onto your platform, and then bring your hoppers all the way across until you join the hopper line again. Okay, so just there. Then again, from here, we're going to start walking backwards and placing our hoppers against each other here, bringing it round the corner, and then looping all the way round until we get to the corner opposite from where we started. Alright guys, once you get round to this side here, as you can see, we've got our hopper line that loops all the way around now. We've got one at each side of these 2 corners now. Okay, so we've got our starting input over here. This is going to go all the way around and it finishes here. Now we're going to repeat this pattern on all of our floors. Okay, so now we're going to go up to the next floor. We're going to go ahead and just put in a couple of planks here, 1 on top. Now you want to make sure that you loop it the same way. So for instance, we started on this side here. So when we go up, we want to make sure that we start on the same side, okay? Come over here, loop around, and again, do this on all floors. Again, just making sure that every floor is lined up the same. You want to make sure that you're going in the same direction with your hoppers. Alright guys, now that we got that all in place and we've got it on all of our floors, so if we come up here you can see we've got our hoppers going all the way around, again in exactly the same position and the same direction as the ones are below. So what we're going to do is where our hopper line ends, which is here, okay, it starts from here and it ends here. So from this one here, we're going to go across, we're going to go 1, 2, then we're going to go 3 and then bring 2 over like this, That brings us right above the front of this hole. Okay, so now if we come up, we can come up here. We can place hoppers now going down into each other. Okay, so they're facing down into each other here. So if we go down the hole, you can see a hopper line comes round again, following that line, and then it goes up. Okay, so they're all facing downwards into each other. Now at this point here, we're going to literally repeat the same pattern. So we want to break this block here, and we want to bring this hopper line to here. Okay, to the starting point of the line, because you want this line to just continuously flow. So if we're facing that pillar there, we want to go up to the one on the right. So now let's go from here. We're going to place one against that one. Then we're going to go 1 and 2. So now we're 1 block gap away from this corner here. Then on this end one here, we're going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Sorry guys, I keep taking pictures while I'm doing this by accident. I keep knocking the wrong button. And then we're going to place 1 in there to continue the line. So now, once the line comes down from above into here, it's basically going to go all the way around, come in here. Then it's going to follow all the way down onto the next line. Okay, that's looking good. Now from this one here, we're going to do the same thing. So let's crouch, place 1 here, then 2 and 3. Then we're going to go 1 here, 1 into the side there. Make sure you don't place it in the wrong place like I just did. Okay, bring that round. Then up to the next level, so we can now come here, crouch, 1, 2, 3, 4, and then we're on this level here. Again, we're going to crouch, 1 there, 1 and 2, so we're now in line with this one. And again, place them in a row, bring them from this one. We're going to go 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5. Break that block there, and then we can place one directly into that one. Again, this line here, we're going to crouch, we're going to place 1, 2 and 3. Down this side here, 1 and 2. Then we can go up, and again repeating the same pattern, bring it all the way up, so we're 1 above the floor level here, 1 in there, 1, 2, bring this one all the way up, and then we're gonna place 1 just there, and then 1 there. Right, okay. So now, just double checking over it, guys. We've got it going all the way down there, and then this one going all the way up. And it should be doing that on every floor. Now, if you can, you want to go over these hoppers and put a full block of your choice. Now, I don't know if it's still the same thing. I know a long time ago, it used to be a case that you could put furnaces or droppers on top of the hoppers, and it would ease on the lag from the hoppers. Any lag or that, it would stop some of the lag. So if you want to put droppers or furnaces on top, you can give that a try. But if not, just put some blocks across the top, just so that anything that drops doesn't end up on the inside. Okay, so we're going to go like this. We're going to put in some blocks and just cover it up, because if you drop any blocks, last thing you want is it dropping into your system before you've got everything set up and messing with your sorting system. So it's probably a good idea to just go around and make sure everything is all covered up like this. Okay, so just go around on each level and just cover it with your stone. Now, this isn't essential, but it just helps it while you're trying to set things up. It just helps prevent dropping items in and then having to sort of figure out what if something goes wrong. It just, you know, it's just precaution. So bring this all the way around like this, and then when you have these ones here, I would suggest doing something like that. Okay, so just go around and do that on all levels. Okay, now before I continue doing that, I'm going to quickly show you the last bit of the plumbing here. So over here where we left off, we've rigged up this bit here going down. So now let's crouch. We're going to go 1, 2, 3 on that corner. Then bring 1 in there, 1 in there. And again, we're going to go up now to the top floor here, which doesn't have no system going around it. Okay, this is an empty floor. So now at this point here, we're going to bring our hopper line up like this. Now what I'm going to do for a second is I'm going to break this block here and this block here, which is the one behind the back of the barrel. Okay, then we can bring our hoppers literally all the way up. Let's make sure we're in this gap here. Now as you can see, it comes up one before this one. So what we're going to do is go one there, then we want to put one into this hopper and then one on top of that hopper. Again guys, I'm sorry I keep taking pictures. I've got my two buttons binded next to each other and I keep knocking it. Now in that gap there, we can just go ahead and put in another plank. Over here we've got this barrel here, so what we're going to do is where we've got this hopper here, or this one here, we can just use, put a hopper there, then up into this gap, sorry guys, just so you can see where we're going, up into this little back at the gap here, we can come up, then we can put a hopper there and then a hopper there. Okay, that is now directly underneath the barrel, and the same as this one in here is directly underneath the barrel. Okay, let's go ahead and cover that up. Now these two over here is going to be pretty much the same thing. So we're going to go to this hopper here on the corner and we're going to crouch, place a row coming all the way across to here. At this point, let's just break this one and then the one here behind that block. Head up into the hole, place one here, one on top. So that one is now facing downwards directly underneath where the barrel, underneath the barrel. We can cover that block there. Then again here, we're going to place a hopper going into there, hopper going into the back of that one. And then if we squeeze into this little gap here, we can place our last hopper going down into there and then put a block back up there. Alright guys, now that the system is all in place, we've now got all of the organising to do for the sorting. And this is where we're going to need a bundle of resources. So first of all, if we come over to the corner here where our hoppers go down, if we look down, we can see the hoppers go down and they join the chests on this side. Okay, so I'm looking at the corner, the first chest that gets sorted is going to be on the left hand side here. So if we go round to this door here, we know that if we come out of this door and we come down one level, these are the first chests that get sorted. Okay, so for the moment, I'm going to just break a hole there as an indication that this is the first row of chests that gets sorted. So before we move on to the next step, what you want to do is throughout your whole storage system here, you want to work out what you want stored in each chest. And to do that is going to be pretty simple. You first of all just want to label things up. So for instance, I'm going to go ahead and label the first lot up with some of my precious items. Okay, things that I would use a lot. So let's just go ahead with the precious items here, for instance. Now I'm going to just go from here. I think I'm going to go diamonds, emeralds, iron, gold, lapis and redstone. Okay, they're the first items I want to be sorted in this chest here to make it easier for me to get access to them. Now that we've got that all in place, we're going to just continue labeling up all these chests all the way around here. Okay, label them all up, go to the next floor, label everything all up again in the item frames all the way around, and then all the way down to the ground floor until you've labeled every chest so that you know what you want stored everywhere. Now, if you wish, you can add overflow sort of extras. So say for instance you wanted 2 rows of chests, two of these rows here for cobblestone. You can do that. You could label 2 of these cobblestone. It would basically fill up the first chest first, so it filled this row of chests up first, and then it would move over and start storing it on this row. Okay, so go ahead, label everything up first. Okay, you can label it in sections if you prefer, like I've done here, and then do a section what we're going to do next. So it's entirely up to you. Now once you've done that, you want to get yourself an anvil, and you want to go on there and you want to get stacks of dirt, and you probably want to get quite a few of these, and you want to rename them to something like just something that doesn't get listed in game. So I'm going to label this BN like that, yeah, for BlueNerd. Okay, relabel it. Now if you're in survival, you're going to need to rename a load of it, but I believe because I'm in creative, I can just shift and just make myself a load of this already, and it should all be labeled BN. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and use this. Now that we've got all of that in place, let's go ahead and we're going to fly up here. So as we can see, we've got these chests here, so I know that behind this, the first section behind the back here is for these chests. And we go diamond, emerald, iron, gold, lapis and redstone. So we've got to do that in the same order. So to make sure I don't make any mistakes, I'm going to just shift this around so that it's in the same order, which should be like that. There we go. Now if I go through this gap here, we're going to come around here to this section of our comparators. Now, each of these hoppers underneath, make sure it's not the top ones, the ones underneath, these will store basically 45 items. Now, for them to do that, we've got to store our main item in the first slot, and then we cover the rest with this BN, like this, okay? So we put 4 of our BN in there. That basically blocks anything from coming through this system, because the BN here is going to block it. Okay, so it's going to just kick any items that are here, just going to overflow to this point here. So this chest has diamonds. Now, we only need 41 diamonds here, but I'm going to put in a stack. And basically, this is just going to show you how it would filter. It'll keep going down until it gets to 41. And it'll stop. So every time another diamond comes in, it'll go in that system and it'll go down and it will end up in the bottom chest just here. Okay, and then it'll fill up until it gets to the top. Now we're going to go to the next chest, which was our emeralds, and again we're going to do the same thing. So throw in 41 emeralds and then a row of your BN or block, whatever you want to call it, as long as it doesn't match with another name of another item in game. Then we're going to move across. We'll do our armor, our iron, not our armor, our iron. Now this system, guys, will only work with items that can be stacked in 64s. So no single items, no items like eggs that can only stack in 16 are going to work. It has to be items that can be stackable in 64, okay? If it can't be stacked, you can't filter it into a particular box. So weapons and armor and eggs and stuff like that are going to have to be placed in separate boxes that we can manage at the very end. So what we're going to do is we're going to make the last 6 boxes on the ground level be for all overflow. So anything that doesn't get filtered in a system, so if you put, for instance, an axe in here, it'll overflow all the way to the end of the system and it'll go into one of the last chests, okay? So we're going to do that at the very end. So first of all, let's just work on this. So now we're going to come to the next one and just continue the same process. So we're going to do our gold. We'll go over to this hopper here. We're going to do the lapis. And then we're going to do the redstone. Okay, just like that. Now, if we come back around here, I'm going to just get this. And I'm also going to just quickly, while we're here, get some stone. And I'm just going to cover up those last blocks there. And this one, I'm just going to jump on the inside here. And there we go. Now, from the outside here, let's just put those 2 blocks in place. And now, if we look in here, we've got diamonds, we've got emeralds, we've got iron, gold, lapis, and our redstone. Now, we want to repeat this process all the way around, obviously, like I said, and then all the way down on all levels, okay, until you've decided exactly where you want every item. Now, if this is the first chest to be sorted, it means this section of the chest is going to be the last on this level. So now that we know that's the last, we're going to go down right there, all the way to the bottom. And we know this section of the chests are going to be the last ones. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to get a chest here, okay? And what I'm going to do is I'm going to mark these ones here as chests. And what this is basically going to be is this is going to be overflow. So any items that don't get sorted in your storage system here, they will go into this box first of all. They will start filling these up, then this one, and all the way across till this one. Okay? So any items you want to come back here, check regularly, see if there's anything there, and maybe make another little area somewhere where you can have some chests that you can put your storage in. That you can put the storage here that don't get sorted in, okay? Or you could extend this. But it has to be here. This last piece has to be at the very end of the system, because it's got to make sure that it goes through all of the filtering and make sure that it goes through all the other chests first. Right, okay, now I think that covers everything. So now once you get to the ground floor, obviously you'll have your items listed all the way around. And again, just go behind and you need to do the same thing behind everything for every single item that you want to store, okay? Now, I'm not going to go ahead and do this all on camera, guys, because this would take me ages and it would make this tutorial a very long tutorial. So we're going to just leave it as that. I think that covers all the explanation for everything that you need to know. The most important thing you need to do is make sure that you have 41 items in the hopper behind. And again, make sure that you're not on the top hopper, not the hopper line. This is your hopper line here. You want to make sure you put them into these hoppers across here. The one that goes directly into your comparators. And you see how they're all lit up now? That means they're all active and working. Now, you need 41 items and then 4 of the blank items. Now, like I said, you just got to rename a bunch of dirt, a bunch of coolster, a bunch of cobblestone. Anything you want to rename is fine. Just make sure it's renamed to something that isn't listed in game so that it doesn't recognize the name and filter something by accident. So once you've got that all done, guys, you'll have yourself a fully automatic storage system. All you would need to do would be put an item in your chest at the very top. So let's go ahead, and what I'm going to do just to show you that it works, we're going to just grab a stack of diamonds, a stack of lapis, we'll grab a stack of redstone, and then I'm going to put in the a smooth sandstone block here, okay? Now the smooth sandstone is going to start filtering into the next block because we've got the overflow protection. So let's come up to the top floor, and we're going to just go ahead, we'll put this one in this chest for now, and as you can see, the counts are starting to go down. Now, if I put that smooth sandstone in there for now, right, you'll see in a minute as we go down, we'll have to wait for it all to filter. It will take a minute or so. So let's leave that all to filter its way down. But if we come down here, and we'll go in here, we'll go down our stairs, and we'll go down to our first level of filtering items over in the corner there. Now, if we look here, you can already see that the diamonds are there. What else did we do? We've done lapis. Lapis is getting filtered in just now. In a second, we'll start seeing the redstone go up. There we go. So the redstone is going in now. Now, the smooth sandstone. Sorry, guys, the smooth sandstone that we just placed. Let's go over here. Is going to go across, and it'll go across, and it'll probably end up in this hopper here. There we go, right there. Now I'm going to just take that out. The reason it's gone there and it stayed there is because we've got the overflow protection here. So if we come down, and we want to go all the way down to the ground, to the last floor, just here. At this point here, because we've got the overflow items all going into these chests, let's get rid of the comparators just here. And then we can get rid of these blocks and this section all here. Because otherwise, it's just going to keep, it's going to hold stuff in the hoppers. Okay, so you're not going to know stuff that's getting filtered. So let's just get rid of all of this. Now again, make sure it's only for these 6 chests across here. This 6 section here, okay? Alright, because that is where all of our overflow stuff is going. So now, if we go behind here. This will all be available now for all items to be stored in that go through the system. but it won't go through the system until you have put all of your items in place until they get to these last chests here, okay? So all it's going to do is it's going to keep filtering anything you put in the system. It'll just filter it into the next hopper in the line, like it did with our sandstone behind this one, okay? So you've got to do what we've done with these ones here behind the back. You've got to do that with everything all the way down until you get to the ground and to that last section there before the overflow. And then just leave the overflow as we have it at the moment. And in that way, anything extra will always be filtered into those chests. Alright guys, now I'm going to leave you to get on with that, and that's probably going to take you quite a while to get everything all in place. But once you've got that all in place and your system is all working, I'm going to quickly show you a cool place that I think would be good for putting your nether portal, which is going to be on the ground floor here, just at the back of our stairway. Now, I think this is a cool place because it's pretty hidden, and I know a lot of people don't like to have to see the nether portal all the time. I know they make a lot of noise, and we get the annoying pigmen that come through them. So what we're going to do is we're going to, first of all, underneath the stairs here on the ground level, we're just going to go ahead, break this back wall out just here. Just like that. Make sure you've got some torches above here, because otherwise you're going to have some dark spots and you don't want to get any mob spawn. Then we're going to simply break out our row of planks all the way to the corners here and put in some obsidian down the bottom here. 1, 2, 3, 4 at the sides. But this one here, put a row just in line with the top of the ceiling here, so it's kind of like hidden. And then we're just going to fill in the rest of the spots like this. We can go ahead, light the nether portal, put a fence, and I would actually put the fence one forward. Okay, give yourself a little bit of a gap. And in fact, before we do that, let's put one here as well on this side. So we've got one at each side. Now at the back there, let's go ahead first of all and let's break the back wall and put in some glowstone, because it's actually pretty dark down here. So let's go ahead, just make a little bit of light. Now you can put glowstone or sea lanterns. I've used sea lanterns because I prefer the look of them. And then there we go. The only last thing left to do is get yourself a spruce fence gate, or a few of them, and then just go 1, 2 and 3. Okay. Now the reason I gave myself a little gap here is just to give you a chance before heading into the nether portal, and just to give you a little bit of space in case you want to bring a horse through here for any reason or something like that. It's just there if you needed to. Okay, that looks pretty good. Now down here guys, I want to do something to lighten up the floor down here because I don't want it to be too dark. And I did come up with one idea. You guys haven't got to do this, but I think it looks pretty neat. So let's give it a go. So first of all, this pillar here where the stairs are, we want to line ourselves up with that pillar and then the first pillar on this side. And we're going to just break this one. That's where our torch is. We're going to break 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So this is 7 in total. And that will line up with this pillar here and also this pillar on this side. Then again, we're going to break 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, making this 7 in total. If you go from the corner, that will line up with this pillar and that pillar over there. Again, we're going to head towards that pillar. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Then we also line up with this pillar here. And then we're just going to join this little square together here. Now, it is a little bit dark here. So let's go ahead and let's just put a sea lantern there for the minute. And break these planks just here. Now, this row broke out. I'm going to break a little row all the way around the edge again. So we're going to go 1 block further. And then we're going to do 1 more all the way around the edge again. Okay, so we're going 2 more than what we originally started with. Just like this. Now, at this point here, guys, we're going to just make... the idea of this is just to make something underneath the ground here to light it up and just to make it look a little bit nice. So what we're going to do is we're going to make a kind of sort of a glass roof across the top here with a little hidden kind of garden underneath. So to do this, we're going to first of all break down another level. Okay, so we want to make 2 deep. Now, it does look very dark here, so what we're going to do is on our edge underneath here, we're going to just put either glowstone or sea lanterns just to brighten this up a little bit. All the way around this underneath this little edge. Now, we're going to go down one more level, guys. Okay, so this is actually going to be 3 deep. I do apologize for getting that wrong. It's going to actually be 3 deep, okay? Because we're going to have the glass and we want 2 levels underneath for some stuff to grow. So let's go ahead. We're going to go ahead, get all these levels out of the way. Alright, now that that's all out of the way, let's get our planks on this bottom edge here. We're going to just run some planks around the edge here just so that it looks a little bit nicer than the stone. And once you're done, get yourself some grass blocks and add some grass in the bottom here. Okay, now you will need silk touch to get the grass. But you can just go ahead and place dirt down if you want, and if you want grass in there but you haven't got none, you only need 1 piece. Put a load of dirt down and then put 1 piece in there, and then the grass should spread across. So let's get rid of all of these and replace it with our grass. Alright guys, now for this part it's just a matter of making a kind of little decorative garden. So we're going to just go to the corners here and just kind of bring out a little bit of a sort of platform. Nothing too much, something kind of like this maybe. Let's go ahead and we'll do another little one on this corner. Maybe we'll bring this one out a little bit more. And then we're just going to fill this level across like this. This is just to give us a little bit of sort of detail into the area. Now at this point guys, we've got some oak leaves, we've got some acacia leaves, some birch leaves. You could do it with any leaves that you want. Just go ahead and just dot a few of them in random kind of places, a bit like this. It hasn't got to be too crazy, you haven't got to do too many, just something to add a little bit of greenery into this area. And we can switch leaves up. We ain't got to do it all of the same leaves. So we're going to change some of these up just a little bit. Maybe these ones in the corner, we'll do them the birch ones. And maybe we'll just add a couple of birch ones in there. There we go, a little bit of colour. Now we've got a 2 high rose bush here. So we're going to use that on the lower ground area. We can't put it on the raised area because we're going to have glass over the top. So let's go ahead, we're going to put a rose bush in there. We'll put a couple of them in here. The one there. Something like that. Okay. Now we're going to need 2 other things here as well. We're going to need some water. And we're going to need some more flowers. Where is it? The lilac. There we go. Okay, so now we just want to make things look a little bit nicer in here for the garden. So we could add in some of these, which are the lilacs. Just again, a little variation in color. Again, these need to be on this lower area. Then we're going to go ahead and we're going to just put in a little bit of water. So let's just make 1, 2, 3. And we could just make a kind of off stream a little bit, maybe something kind of like this. Hasn't got to be nothing perfect. And if you want to, just to make it look a bit better, is get some coarse dirt, and we're going to go ahead and put coarse dirt down at the bottom here so we don't have the stone. Then place your water buckets in. Just like this, just to make a little bit of a water area. You can even open it more to make it seem a bit more like a kind of pond. Something like this. Yeah, something kind of like that. Now, around the edges here, we can put bamboo. We can also add some sugarcane. Like this. Now, the bamboo is going to grow fast, so you will need to be careful. Because you'll probably have to break some out of the way. So we can do something like this. Get yourself some grass. You can add a few little bits of grass around. Don't forget to put your dirt in all of the blocks on the bottom here, like this. And what we can also do at this point as well is get ourselves some of our cobblestone slabs. And just to make it a little bit of detail inside here, we can just put some random ones in the corners here. Something like that. You can even break the occasional one and put it up like that. Add a little one in that corner. Maybe this one here. Okay, just to add a little bit of detail into the rockery here. And then one last thing as well, which you can add, is maybe just a couple of lanterns just to light some of the areas up. So you could have one perhaps here. Maybe another one just over here. And then maybe one right there. Just to brighten the area up. Now, as you can see, the bamboo is starting to grow. So we're going to go ahead and get our glass blocks now. And what we're going to do here is simply just get rid of that one on the top there. Bring our glass all the way across the top. And just cover this entire hole up with the glass. Now, if you have got some bone meal, it's a good idea to get some bone meal. And just make sure that your bamboo does kind of grow at least one, so you get that little green shoot. Cover the rest up, and as you can see, we haven't got it growing down here, so let's just quickly go like that. We will break that one off the top though, and then we can just put the rest all across like this. Alright guys, one last thing that I think will make this look really nice would be just some polished andesite blocks around the edge. I think it just needs something to just finish off this little garden area. So let's go ahead and put these all the way around the edge. That definitely looks better with the bit of andesite around the edge and really helps finish it off. Now, guys, I think that is probably just about it for decorating on the ground floor here. I just wanted to add something because it just felt too open on the ground floor, and I think this just adds something different. You know, this is not something you would normally see, but I don't know. I just wanted something a little different in here, and I think it looks pretty good. Obviously, guys, this isn't a must-have. It's not something that you have to add, but I just think it adds a little bit of color to the area down here. Now, if you wanted to make the area look a little bit more sort of greener, a little bit more friendly, you can always get yourself some leaves, maybe even some fences or anything like that. And underneath on your edges here, you can always just bring in a few leaves. There's a little kind of hanging, you know, just a little bit of detail, you know, up on the edge here, something like this, and then maybe drape a little bit down here. And then if you're worried about it looking like it's coming from nowhere, you can always just put in, you know, like one or two little sort of little fences to make it look like a little bit of branch or something, like it's just like it's been sort of wedged up there on purpose, like a plant. It's entirely up to you, but I think it will add a little bit of detail to the area and break up all of the spruce, because we do have a lot of spruce. But I would just say don't go too crazy with it, guys. Okay, the green looks great, it does, but just don't add too much of it, because too much of it will make it just feel a little bit too overgrown. Okay, so adding it like up in the corners here is pretty good. Maybe not doing it every corner, maybe like this corner here, maybe even just like a couple of bits here. But I think this is another great way of decorating the area. But yeah, other than that, guys, I think this is pretty good now. I think this room is more or less done now. Just be careful not to add too many of the fences as well. I think it looks better, kind of like that. So yeah, go ahead, you can do that. You can do that on all these floors here. And if you wanted to, you can also dangle some into the ceiling as well. You can make it look like it drapes a little bit, something like this. If we get rid of that one, we can do that, and we can even drape it across a little bit more, something like that. And if you wanted to light it up underneath, you could add a lantern or glowstone or something like that, just hidden somewhere, like here, just to brighten up the ceiling if you feel that it's a little bit dark, you know. So you can do lots of things like this with the ceiling. I'm not going to go ahead and do the whole ceiling or anything like that. I might add a few bits in here just to make it a little bit greener, but it's just an idea for you guys to do. Okay guys, right, on the top level up here, if you wanted to, you could go ahead and add in some more details. Now, I haven't really added any details at the moment, but if you wanted to, you could go ahead and do something like adding in one of these composters, fill it with some leaves or some items just to get the dirt to the top like this. Then you can place a fence on top like this, and then you could put one or maybe even two little leaves like this just to make it look a little bit more greener. You can also put them in your doorways. You can also just place leaves just on top, just a single one like that. You can put them each side of your door, something like this. You can also go ahead and use flower pots. So you could do like a flower pot. You could do that and then put some leaves on top, just like that. Make it like a flower. You know, there's so many decorations and ways of doing it that you can use. You can use even anvils or cauldrons and then put your leaves on top as well. You know, they all look decorative. So just go ahead, find one style that you like. Maybe put a few of those around just to decorate the place up and make it look a little bit nicer. But again, just be careful you don't overdo it, because too much can sometimes just make it not feel right, you know. It could just not feel quite as homely as it should. Alright, so I'm going to go ahead, I think for now, I'm going to just put one here, and then we're going to go boom and boom. Alright guys, well I think we're going to wrap it up just there, but before we do, we're going to head through this side here. Now over here is our stairway that we came down, okay? Next episode, we're going to cover up some of this area here, some of these hoppers and stuff, so don't worry about them showing. This is all going to be hidden out of the way, okay? Now, if we go across to the opposite side over here, something I didn't realize, but it actually works out perfect, is if we break one of these, there we go. Let's go ahead and put those there. So if we break these 2 blocks high, so for now, we're going to just go out here. Right, out here, this brings us out to where we've got a little archery range. And then up the stairs here, we've got our little soldiers area. So I thought that this area below would be great as an armory, because soldiers would only literally have to come down here, come in this door here, and bang, we're in an armory. So next episode, we're going to work on an armory. I've got a few ideas in place which I think are going to be really cool. So we're going to decorate this room up, make a nice big armory. We can make a stairway that goes all the way up to the top of this. This is the tower at the back of the castle. Okay, so this overlooks a lot of the city and stuff, so we can have a nice stairway coming up to here. We'll probably have a couple of landings in between, so we can make some little rooms, maybe some little other dungeons. Over on the opposite side over here, if we go round into here, we're going to have some dungeons in this room here. We're going to have some dungeons and a torture chamber in this room here. I think if we go through this room here and go through into here, this is going to become a little crafting and smelting area, because we will be able to actually break through here once we get our garden in place, because the garden is going to be the floor level about here. So here we could actually run a big smelter in here, or an auto smelter, which will be maybe about 20 or so furnaces. Okay, I've got a few ideas in place for that. So that one we will work out again once we get the garden area in place and we've got all of that ready. But guys, I think this is really starting to shape up and things are really coming along. I know it's going to be a while before you guys get all of your items in place here. So good luck if you're doing this in survival, guys. And well done for those of you that are following along. It will take a while to get it all in place, but it will be so worth it and make storing your items so much easier. Okay? So yeah, just have fun with it. Decorate it up as you please. I hope you guys like this little garden down here. I know it feels kind of strange. Very different. But I wanted something to brighten the area up, but I didn't want to clog it up with a load of stuff in the middle of the room or anything like that. So I just wanted to make something decorative, and I don't know, something like this just sprung out on me. It was a bit weird. I did see a couple of images on Google Images. I was browsing some little sort of interior ideas, and I saw a few pictures with some similar, not quite like this one, but similar kind of ideas in the ground. So I thought I'll try it, and I think it looks pretty good. It definitely feels very different, but I think that it just adds a nice bit of detail to this room and just brightens up the floor level as well. Anyway, guys, I think we're going to go ahead and wrap it up just there. So, as always, thank you guys so much for watching. If you did enjoy, don't forget to smash that like button. And if you have any ideas or suggestions for the castle, don't forget to leave them in the comments below. And if you're new to the channel, don't forget to subscribe. But just remember to hit that bell button if you want to get notified every time I post a new video. But for now, this is BlueNerd signing out. And I will catch you guys in the next one.